Good morning, everybody. Those are probably just about the first words I've spoken to anybody. I hope my voice isn't too, like, scratchy or anything. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Monster Hunter stream. We're going to be doing some Monster Hunter Freebie Night this morning. My name is Ristretto. It's good to see you guys today. If it's anyone's first time here, then welcome. If you've been here before, then hi. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Yesterday, we played some Freebie Night in the morning, too. It was our first time playing Freebie Night in a good long while. We are currently working on going through the low-rank village quests with Lance to try and get used to the weapon again and get used to some of these fights before doing that same low-rank village run again as a challenge run using the NotYourGranny % rules, which are some specific challenge rules. I'm going to give you guys some beans for being here nice and early today. And we're going to jump on over to the game here. But I want to say hello to you guys before we keep going here. So, hello Parsec and Uchi, good morning. Thank you, Uchi. I showed this on Night Stream last night. This is a mug. This is a mug that I got Annie several years ago when she was living apart from me. Like, she was living far away. So I never really got to use it. But now that we're married and we live together, I get to use this thing. It's really cool. It's got freaking, I don't want to spill it. There's like a little ripple. There's like a little ripple design on the bottom. It's cool. You gifted a mug to yourself in the end. Oh yeah. Hello Pro Cow and Lass. Welcome you guys. Arashi Saraika, I am sorry, we're not doing any lottery or any weapon raffles this morning. We're just doing Freebie Night Lance because we're practicing that. But tonight I will be back with some more weapon raffles in Monster Hunter Rise because that's what we're doing in that game right now. Who else is here? You know, Max said hi. Yeah, Max the God of Waffles said hi. Hi to you, Max. Thanks for being here. I think that's just about everybody. Thank you guys for all being here today. Hey, Frenchie. Good morning. Welcome. You're out? Oh, I'm sorry, Arashi. See you around then. How are you this morning, Frenchie? Charge Blade. Freebie Night Charge Blade. It would probably be pretty dope if there was such a thing. Or it would be like awfully jank. Just woke up? Me too. I think next week I will either tweak the times on the day stream or I'll probably just, I don't know. I think part of having the times on the schedule keeps me like, I need to get up and do a stream because I put some times on the schedule and I want to. And like, I feel a little bit like obligated because I put a time there. But also, I'm always late. So it's like, maybe I shouldn't put the times and I should just do a stream whenever the stream happens. But like, if I don't put the times, am I gonna do the stream? I don't know. I think we're dropping some frames right now, which is a bummer. Put it to the time that you're usually late. Could just move the time back 30 minutes, but then what if I'm 30 minutes late from that though? I think that's probably the logical next step is next week we push the time back 30 minutes and see if I can hit that. And if I can't hit that, we'll just take the times off. Okay. Dropped a few frames there, I'm sorry. I haven't had much issues with the internet in this new place yet. Alright, as nice as this song is, I'm going to go ahead and fade it out there. We're going to switch back to the actual game music. Just edit the times in the post to the time you actually started retroactively. You never saw anything. It always said I was going to start at 9:24. Okay. Freebie Night. When we last left off, we had just finished killing Blongo. He was tough with Lance. So far, I think him and Gypsaros and Daimyo Hermitar feel like I need practice with them on Lance. So we might do some practice for those quests. God, I love this farm. It's so cozy. We're still trying to get Dabiscus just to see if we could get the fragrance lance. At this point, I've decided that's not a route you could feasibly go for. I use that name for my personal characters last. Hey, there was a Hibiscus. I use this name for speedrunning. Hey, Brian NG. Yeah, ProCow's here. ProCow is very Ayaya this morning. Okay. This game's cozy. Well, we got the meat wagon. It's cozy until you start actually fighting big monsters and then they stomp you to the ground. But, you know, right now it's cozy. You know, your listing is Rise right now. I accidentally forgot to update it before I went live. It should update now if you refresh. I've updated it on my end a couple times over. Sometimes if I don't update it right at the beginning, the people who show up right at the beginning will see it as Rise, but it is set as Free Night now. Hello, Serpus Onolento, welcome. Really miss playing old Monster Hunter? Then play some. I know you've played them. I know you've played like all of them last, but I don't know. Play Dose or something. Play Dose or Monster Hunter G. Something that's gonna take a while. Okay. You played Poke Song while you were sleeping. You woke up with superpowers. It sounds like about how it would work. Gotten an Akito jewel. You'd be depressed killing a Yankutku for 40 minutes, but you'd get better and it wouldn't take 40 minutes. Man, we have everything we need except for the Hibiscus. What a bummer. I wanted to use this lance. I wanted to use the flower lance in the speedrun. Okay, so as for what's next in our run, we just fought Blanganga. So next up is the Battle of the Blos, which is Monoblos. That's exciting. What's less exciting is that I probably don't have that many Sonic Bombs. Oh, I guess I have 3. It's not bad. Are Sonic Bombs even allowed? I think they are. I have literally 1 Nitro Shroom. Four Sonic Bombs. Hey Alpha, it's good to see you. Thank you for the reply. Liver of Legend would be impossible otherwise. It'd be pretty bad, wouldn't it? I guess that's something you have to think about when you run a category like this. Is like, hey, do we want people to do Liver of Legend for like 40 minutes? No? Okay, then I guess we should probably let them use Sonic Bombs. Alright. On to the Monoblos. This is a request to the virtuous hunters of Poke. A Monoblos is tearing through the desert near my village of Kokoto. Please hunt it down for us. From the Kokoto village chief. We got you, bro. You're good, Alpha. You're good. You got this. Didn't I clear it in like 4 minutes though? I got very lucky on Liver of Legend. I will probably never get that lucky in an actual speedrun because that's how this game works. Okay. I haven't fought a second generation Blos in a long time. I don't even remember the differences between Monoblos and Diablos. Dude, the Mons emotes are so good. Oh, I thought its cutscene was here. Maybe it's the next area. Big Horn? Yeah. Big Horn, but I don't remember if it has any moveset differences. Go poke poke. Here we are. You like Monkasteer, Arashi? I do too. Okay. This ought to be interesting. I don't remember its hit zones. That's okay, that'll be in our notes. That must be the back. Tail is good? Yeah, I feel like the tails and the blowses in second gen are always good. Probably we're going for like leg, stomach, tail. That counts as the back though. This is gonna be a Monkasteer kind of fight? Maybe so. Oh hey, Cephalos. Dude, lowering blows are hilarious in this game. They never come out of the sand. What hit me there? I guess the blast from the other Cephalos. $80 tail, 60 wing, 50 neck and belly. Thank you, Alpha. Ah! Oh my god. The Cephalos are the worst. Oh my goodness. Can't stand under that tail. Oh. It actually got the charge off. That's a bummer. So is that. So is that. So is that. So is that. Let's keep the bummers rolling in. Last Sonic. Yellow sharpness. And here goes the dig. Alright. Time to be slow. Never mind. It's mad, I think. The tail does a lot of damage there. Yeah, it's raged. Is it gonna dig more now? Or like dig faster now? Nope. It's going to leave. Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh, I didn't bring any actual potions. I forgot to buy some from the store. This just got a little spookier. What was that tracking? They just did that in this game. Old wrist is back. How do you know? What's old wrist? Forgetting potions? Healing from herbs and collecting from the ground. I don't think we're going to be collecting herbs from the ground. They make it really tough to get to the belly. They make that tail hitbox hit really deep underneath him too. Yeah, you know, as opposed to now, where I am not a purist. I wanted those tail hits so bad. Missed the tail. It's hard to hit the tail. Did we just bounce on the Genprey with green? I think we did. Wonder if we can iframe those tail swipes. Maybe? This is a little scary. That's what Mark's tip would have you believe, Arashi. They regularly tell me to be more cerebral. Like, hey, well, I don't know if they regularly tell me that. They told me that once. Wait, could you try using your brain with this matchup? You know, I hadn't thought of that, Marks. Oh, well, that's one way of avoiding the hip check. That move is scary in this game. It comes out quick. Hey. Gonna get hit by that. Screw up the trip though. Hey again, Prey, thank you. Ooh. Hey Leech DM, welcome. Good morning and welcome to Freeman Night. Oh, that wasn't safe. Oh, that really wasn't safe. And that was a horrible trade. We're also out of potions now. But he's leaving, so we're okay. Hey, Rosie. This quest is great. Oh god, there's a cat and a Vespoid in here. Why? Oh, I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting a hip check. The cat said, you know that shell you just got from the tail? Screw you. Love it. There's one cart. I think we just need to more consistently hit the legs. That should be our goal in practicing this particular hunt in the future, is just spend more time hitting Monoblos's legs. Hey, S-Fox. Alright, see ya, Serpus Onolento. Welcome. Or I guess, rather. Have a good rest of your morning. Whoops. I think the run probably won't be until at least next week. Hey, Hamslayer, yeah. We're trying our hand at a Not Your Granny % run, which is a challenge run that outlaws certain weapons and items. Can you even be able to block with that fast of tailspins? If you were anticipating it, you could block kind of preemptively. But no, it's one of those moves that comes out quickly enough that it's not really reactable with these controls. Not in that way. Just predictable. Hey, Monster Boy, welcome. Not Ham Layer, Ham Slayer. Like he slays the ham. You carve up the ham, there you go. We are indeed hopping around S Fox. It's interesting. I don't normally do this kind of variation in Monster Hunter, but we're trying it. Darn. Not enough stamina to get out of the way. Like getting his horn... I don't know if he hit us or the Cephalos does. Like getting his horn stuck on the ledges and walls, but it's a bit cheesy. I've never been good at forcing that to happen. Instead, I've been good at running out of stamina and dying. Yeah, I've never been good at getting that to happen in any of the games consistently. It's always something where someone's in chat is like, get him stuck in the wall! And I like take more hits getting him stuck in the wall than just fighting him normally. I'm really bad at that.
That's tasty.
That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to insult it. It only really works if he charges instead of digs, but either way it's safe to block. That's fair. I probably should have blocked instead of trying to get out of the way there. It's better than dying, right? Oh gosh, I dodged right into that. I could have backed up. Well, this is another one we have to add to the practice list. Clearly. Okay, it's limping at least. Dude, the Cephalos sucks so much. Hello, Draconic Stormy. Welcome. We are attempting to kill a Monoblos. It's going very well. have a feeling that the end of this run is going to be a lot like that to me, but that's why we're doing this practice stuff and not just going straight into speedrun attempts. It's like, yo, I need a lot of practice at some of these monsters. Their second gen versions are distinctly challenging. Fake out. Would you just die already? My god. No! Guess we're feeling those lance woes. It's not a lance thing. I mean, probably some of it, but no, this is definitely a practice thing and also a second gen blows take forever to do anything thing, including die. No, you can do this matchup so frickin' cleanly with lance. I'm just not doing it. I want to know what this HP pool is. He limped like 5 minutes ago. Oh great, that's the run ender right there, is if he hits us with that. The bite. Classic. Limp into bite. Oh. Oh my gosh. It was way too close for comfort. That was not a good quest. But that's okay. That's like I said. That's what we're here to do, is just practice some of these tough quests. Get used to them. Genprey killed it? I poked at it, but it might have been the Genprey. I'm not sure if I managed to poke the end of its tail there or not. Weasty's dead? Yeah, we haven't tripled. I believe that will probably change later on today. Should remember to buy potions. It's a thing we should remember to do. Yeah, I don't think we killed it. Looking at that kill screen there, our lance was a little off of that tail. Monoblos. The next one should be interesting. Oh, I never planted anything, did I? Whoops. Bummer. I think it's funny for the mushroom box, they just give you a menu that you can like put stuff away from, and all the other ones they have you gather multiple times. It's amusing to me. forget what we need for like a potential next lance upgrade. Light crystals, yeah, okay, we're not getting that. Hey, Rock Spider. I hope it does help cheer up your day. How you doing? It's good to see you. Oh, no meat wagon. Run's dead. Good beans. Dude, some of the names for these are incredible. Buffalo butter and chili cheese. Yum. Hello, Ionix. Welcome. Your edit that you did with that, Rosie, was pretty funny. Whoops. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Stop. Stop. Early morning menuing. Here we go. It might be a sound Redimuchi. What is this not your granny percent thing? So regular RTA for this game is where you start at the beginning of the game and you play through to Shen Gaoren. It's pretty optimized at this point, and it's focused around sleep bombing and bowguns. It's very fast. There are some impressive setups. Not Your Granny percent is like an offshoot of that bars the use of bowguns and traps and bombs along with a couple other items. Yeah, no bowguns, no hammer, no greatsword, just to try and increase weapon diversity in terms of like, it'll be a lot different to do a Not Your Granny percent run from a Granny percent run. Very different. Sort of Rock, except like some weapons are totally banned. First time in the volcano. Never played any of the Monster Hunters before 3U, but there's something about their aesthetic I always love. It's an interesting little look to it, isn't it? Simplistic. Simplistic with little bits of goofiness. Right. Not Your Granny percent also ends at Tigrex instead of Shen Gaoren. I forgot about that. Thanks, Parsec. I forget where this cutscene is. Hey, Fog. Good morning. Cutscene is not here. The cutscene is not here. Well, I hope you have a good day at work, Fog. The cutscene is not here. Good old second-gen volcano. Again, like I said yesterday, it feels weird that I have loads of nostalgia for this map. Not really from Freebie Night. Like, I'm nostalgic for it from this game, but I'm also nostalgic for it because I played Gen as my first game, and this map was in there too. Same thing with Forest and Hills. I have like nostalgia for when I first played the games, but it's not from an old game, it's from Gen. This is Bizarrios. Yeah. Oh, there's no cutscene? Oh. Alright, fine. Be that way. Sure, Uchi, you're welcome to. This seems unfortunate. Gecko did it, somehow. I haven't watched their run. They keep telling me not to watch their run. They're like, no, don't watch it. It's scuffed. It's like you finished the run, though. Gekka's impressive at this game. All the years of practice paying off. Can we hit his tail? Nope. We just gotta keep bouncing on the stomach and hope we break it. Oh well. But you can hit his feet? Take it, bombs aren't allowed. Bombs are not allowed. I think the rocks in the other room are allowed, so if he goes to the other room, we can let him run into those rocks. And that would be nice, but outside of that, I think it's just this. Very compelling fight. And people wonder, like, you see people wondering why other people hate Bizarrios and Gravios. It's like, dude, this is what it was like. This was your first impression of those monsters. Does Lance have power guard? No. Counter wasn't added. No kind of. There's nothing except for poke, charge, and guard. The counter wasn't added for a whole other game. Yep, no shield slap even. Literally just poke, guard, and charge. That's it. This is a bad place to be. So are you speedrunning? Not this morning, no. Nope. We're going through this game along the same route that we would be for a challenge run called NotYourGranny %. But this is my first time playing this game in over a year, so we're just going through the run and practicing. For obvious reasons, because this is not going super well. This morning we've gotten to some of the fights that are rather difficult. Yesterday we were able to go through most of the fights pretty unscathed. No such luck today. What's the challenge? No, you're all good. So normal speedrunning in this game is called, or I guess, sorry. Speedrunning in this game, one of the ways you can speedrun in a Monster Hunter game is called real-time attack. It's where you start at the beginning of the game and you go through usually to the end of like low rank or the end of high rank. In this game it's called Granny %. You start at the beginning of the game and you go through to Shen Go Ren as fast as you can. That category is very optimized. It's focused on bowguns and sleep bombing and traps and stuff. So this is an offshoot of that category. This is called NotYourGranny %. It doesn't allow bowguns or hammer or greatsword, and it doesn't allow traps or bombs. So it's to try and make a more diverse, different category to play. And it ends at Tigrex instead of Shingoran. So we're close to the end, but as you can see, there's some things standing in our way currently. Yeah, this is pretty garbo. Well, this just means we're gonna have to watch Geckos run and be like, what the heck did you do, Gek? I feel like Huntinghorn and Gunlance are the only decent matchups for this fight. What about Longsword? You at least get to choose some moves to have Mind's Eye on, right? Oh yeah, bow for sure. Hard to hit Valley with Longsword, that's fair. Maybe we make an addendum to the category and go, you are allowed to use sleep bombing, bowguns, hammer, and greatsword, but only for Bizarrios. Is he gonna leave? Oh, thank God. It's like the flash bombs are allowed in TA, but only for Kushala rule. All right, we got into the area with the rocks. It's hilarious that was the thing, isn't it? And for you, It does spend an incessant amount of time flying around. All right, we need to not screw this up. I guess it doesn't fire its beam, so it's gonna be harder to make it screw this up. All right, come here. Game, I threw a paintball at it. I know it's here. Hey, here we go. Boom! A flinch! I forget, do the rocks despawn, or do the rocks respawn? I feel like they might. Here he comes. Boom! We set 1 or 2 the rocks by zoning. I don't like zoning to do anything, but you know what? You know what? Let's just see. I imagine they're time-based. I would be surprised if it was just like a straight up, like you go in and out and they respawn, but let's see. We'll take it. Oh man, that could have been bad. I bet this is how Gek did it. Probably, yeah. Wonder how many times it works. Totally not cheesing it. Look. If they didn't want folks to cheese it with sleep bombs and rocks, they shouldn't have made it a 20 hit zone. Oh, he's trucking. Bye. Alright, let's try it again. Is it gonna work again? Give the stage hands in the backstage a second to move those pieces on real quick. Good scene transition, folks. Good scene transition. Does the category say small barrel bombs are allowed? No bombs are allowed. It's dealing damage, that's for sure. Alright, I'm going to try resetting it one more time. I think we're probably about to run out of resets. If this is how we do it, then this is how we do it. Man, this sucks. You just bounce until Bizarrios gets to Area 4, and then you reset for bombs. Yep, that's it. That's it. Seven rocks then. I think it was 5. Yep, that's what it is, Fog. The game counts them as small monsters. Which is kind of hilarious. Just like stationary, explosive small monsters. A wiggle! No way! Drums are so... I would pray you're such jerks. Oh, we're out of antidotes too. I guess I should bring some of those to this quest. I mean, at least we get an infinite combo, right? Can't even follow him into the lava there. It's basically like playing Minecraft. Yeah, you're just mining the Bizarrios with your lance. It's fine. Some do, some don't. Fog. This would be a good quest to bring a power seed for. Get out of the lava. Yeah, the thing is, the sad part is, you can't really bring that much better damage for this quest. Like, if you think about it, like, even outside of our challenge run, you can bring, like, a small handful of bomb combines, and that's it. Then you're back to this. Ow. So, like, really, what did they expect, like, in terms of player reception for this kind of quest? Like, yo, Bizarrios. Hey, Turnip Juice. Good morning. We're doing Bizarrios with Lance. It's bumping. It's a bouncing and bumping good time. Oh, okay, that has a hitbox to it. Thought I was gonna be able to walk out of the way of that. Nope. That's a lag. And the dumpy thing about the part break in this game is, like, even with a bow gun, even with like a water bow gun or something, the part break is still right before it dies. Like, you'll spend the whole time chipping away trying to break its chest, and then it just dies. We kill it. Oh my god. What a mess that quest is, jeez. Yeah, power seeds, more antidotes. That's about it. Faster than monoblows. Oh, free me night. Curious how much damage those rocks do. I think they're the same as like a large barrel bomb. It could be more, but I think that's about it. Hey, Rosie. Iron ore, matcholite, medium monster bone, Bizarrio shell. I'm so glad I got all of those Bizarrio specific carves from that monster. It sure would be a bummer if there was an easier way to get those. Alright. I'm gonna use the bathroom and then we're gonna keep going. I think next up is one of, like, a matchup that I actually used to really enjoy practicing with Lance, so we'll see how we do with it today. Shogun Cianatar is next. This is a fight I miss dearly in the newer game, so I'm excited to fight him. Even if we get stomped, I don't care. I love this guy. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm back. I brought back a cat with me. Hello, cat. This is Lungo. Hey, Lungo. He's happy right now because the door is not closed. He can go wherever he wants. If he's shut in here with me, sometimes he doesn't like it too much. Hi, buddy. He's purring. Really soft, but he's purring. He's a good cat. Okay. Okay. Let's put you down. Okay. Also, before we keep going, I want to remind folks, or just show folks, that we are giving away some Monster Hunter figures. Just as a thank you for several good years on Twitch and 2,000 follows, we're giving away 5 different little figures to anybody in the world. So, if you'd like one of these shipped to you, enter the giveaway in the Discord. There's a room in there where you hit a little button and then you're entered. It's easy. This is the Kushala that we're giving away. We're giving away a Kushala, a Rathalos, Tigrex, Nargacuga, and Zinogre. Okay. So that's in the Discord server if you want to do that. And just thank you guys for being here. I feel like I'm doing like an infomercial when I transition to the other screen and go like, hey, look at this infomercial. Like, wow. Whoops, I bought too many cool drinks. Whatever. No meat wagon. Okay. Time to practice a Shogun Ceanataur with Lance. Like I said, this is a matchup I used to really, really like. Or at least to like practicing. Commander in the Flames. Upon our trip into the cave of the volcano, an enormous Shogun Ceanataur dropped down from the ceiling right on top of us. Its ambush caused massive damage. Rid the world of that scourge. Okay. Ah, second gen volcano. Nice volcano. It's an okay one. Hey, Nefudis. Not only day risk, but there's a second gen crab coming up, Nef. There are good times now. We've gotten through the Bizarrios. We bounced for like 15 minutes. But now there's a second gen crab. I don't care if I get freaking destroyed by this thing. I love second gen crabs. Oh, it's so scary. I love it. Look at those cutscenes. Look at that screen shake. Oh, I probably should have drank a cold drink. Do the Apsaros though. I think I dodged into that just there. Oh, he can do that. Okay. Can he do the moving one in low rank? Probably not. He does have the moving one. Ooh, he angry. Crab gurgles. Was faster. That water attack because he was raged. Cornered me. Dang, that did a lot of damage. Oh no, the worst move. At least he only did it once, jeez. Oh god, the worst move. The lawnmower, yep. Oh my gosh. Dude, what a fight. Too early on that hop. way he moves is so cool. I miss these monsters. I want him back so badly. Hello, Awkwardly Awkward. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. We're gonna get hit. Yeah. Scary monster. Sanitar's got one of the best armors in the game, truly. The razor sharp and the handicraft are so nice. Oh, blocking that was a horrible idea. He's leaving, isn't he? Yeah. Or he's just gonna pop up where he was, yeah. Yeah, there he is. Come here. Come and get me. Come and get me. Close to dead. Now is it moving? It ought to, right? Guess not. Oh man, I forgot I had a hitbox when it was crawling up out of the ground like that. Got him. That feels nice. Freaking love Sanitar. What a good quest. Does the hotspots hurt certain monsters? The lava, I don't think deals damage to any monsters, but the rocks do. The rocks that he kind of hit a couple times there and blew up, those deal damage to monsters. Also, yeah, welcome, Jumpco. What Parsec said. Thanks for coming by, guys. That's such a good set, Awkwardly Awkward. I think we've used something similar in G-Rank before. We're doing a challenge run where we're going through from the beginning of the game to Village Tigrex. We're not allowed to use bow guns, traps, bombs, greatsword, or hammer. So we can use any other weapon, we can use some items, but none of the bombs or traps or anything. We're trying to do it as quickly as we can, although I'm just practicing right now. We're not actually doing any sort of challenge or speedrun right now. I haven't played this game in like a year, so we're sitting here trying to get used to some of the fights again. I believe next is Tigrex, which really should be interesting. I don't feel confident against Freemanite Tigrex, so it should be interesting to see how we do. You and many other folks, awkwardly, me too. Tigrex in this game is a force to be reckoned with. We first have to deliver 15 pieces of coal though, so I guess let's do that. The double bite is the scariest move, IMO. For me, it's the charge. Hey Ethan, it's good to see you. Good morning. It's Freeman Night. It is. We're practicing for a challenge run in this game. Hey, Jay Novice. Good morning. Yeah, Hibiscus is really a toss-up. We're not getting any of them. Need to go back and play this game someday. It's a fun one. I mean, it's hellish, but it's also really fun. It's really a fun experience, though. I mean, it will be difficult in some spots, but I don't know. The journey along the way and the challenge is really worth experiencing. I still think it's the most formative thing I've done in Monster Hunter. Like, I mean, there are other games that I like as much as this one, but this is probably the one that's kind of been the most formative for me in terms of, like, how do I enjoy having fun with Monster Hunter? So, like, maybe don't play it? If you look at me and how I play the games and go, man, that person is hurt deeply somehow, maybe don't. Sort of, Ethan, yeah. Still have to beat Furious Jang in this game. He's tough. I think I've done him with Gunlance and Greatsword. At least Greatsword. I know that for sure. Maybe Hammer, maybe Gunlance, maybe Longsword. I can't remember. Aw. J Novice, you should. They're all worth experiencing. I guess I can't say for sure first gen is worth experiencing, but we're going to find out. We're going to find out very soon. We'll be going back and playing through Freedom 1 in its entirety later this year, which should be interesting. More coal, please. Should have nabbed a Farcaster for some of these quests. Are Farcasters allowed? I think they are. Okay, thank you, Rosie and Alpha. Dude, it's so nice having the person who made the category and the mod of the category in the chat. That's so nice. Makes it really easy when I have an inquiry like, I wonder if this is legal. I think actually I should have used up the old pickaxes first because we're about to go back and grab some more pickaxes when we deliver this first batch of coal. Now I have less pickaxes to bring out with me. I might have to run back and get more old ones if enough break. We'll see. Need 6 more. I forget if you can get coal from this area. Ooh, Dragonite, wow. I should not mine here. Don't want to waste my potential pickaxes going for coal there when you can't get coal there. Also don't want to get blown up while mining. I think there's a gathering spot in here. Yeah, there sure is. I just always forget about it. 1, 2, 3. Three more. I wonder how many gathering quests there are in this game. Not that, or sorry, in the not in the game, but in this run. There aren't that many. You could probably nab enough Farcasters to cover all of them. Four, 5, 6. Okay. Let's book it. This next quest is going to be something. Now, in an actual run, I think that this is where you would dump everything you had into as many armor spheres as you could chuck into your armor. And that would be an intelligent way of doing things. I don't want to do that because I want to leave my set with the right amount of like base defense so I can go back and practice other fights without like resetting this save. So I'm not gonna dump any armor spheres into my armor. Tongues, livers, mushrooms, coal. Yep, mountain herb picking. Wait, is that required? Let me scroll. I mean, we have the quest list here. Hang on. Okay, let's see. Popo tongues, livers, mushrooms, coal. Yep, just those 4. So 4 Farcasters. My expectation for this quest is that it's going to go really, really poorly. So we'll see how it goes. If it goes really poorly, my expectations will be spot on. And not a single one of those was a Hibiscus. Wow. Dragonite ore. Wow. I didn't use those bug nuts at all this run. Hello, Thibault Tabri. Welcome. We're trying to practice. We're trying to get better. Okay. Oh wait, I can't even use that. Love Tigrex's theme, the best monster theme in Freemy Night. It's pretty good. It's pretty good in this game. I have a lot of complex emotions about second generation Tigrex. I got a little bit better at him playing through the game, but I'm still pretty bad at him. I don't think I ever felt really good at him with Lance, so we'll see. I think I felt good at him with Longsword and Hammer and maybe Greatsword and Sword and Shield, but not other weapons. And I don't even know if I felt good at G-Rank Tigrex. I guess this isn't G-Rank Tigrex, but he's still pretty spooky from my recollection, so we'll see how this goes. We have to take things so slow. Tigrex was your first wall? I think my first wall was Blangonga in Generations. In this game, I think it might have been Kezu. I love how far you throw the paintballs. Okay. Well. I screwed myself up. Hey! I did it! I did the hop through the arm. Whoops. Did not do the hop through the roar though. Gonna have to practice for that. Oof. Oh, we're very lucky. Oh, right, we have Mega Potions. I forgot. That's nice. I'd gotten to the point where I could do it consistently, both the slow and the fast roar, but that's been a while ago now. It felt good to be able to do the two different ones. It's funny that the timing changes. Nope, I was too far away to be able to do the hop through the arm there. I think delaying like hops like that, Rosie, is always more difficult than doing ones that are right at the beginning of an animation. Like that. Delaying is always weird. It's too center there, and probably a little bit too late into the animation there to realistically do that safely. Forget if I don't think the bite you can hop through. I think it's only the charge. Didn't know you can enrage his roar like that. Yep. Yep, he has two different roars. He has an unenraged roar, which is slow, like that, where you have to delay, like I was talking about. And then you have an enraged roar, which is fast. You have to evade right at the beginning. Dude, I can't believe how long before that I was eating that seed and how it still wasn't safe. Insane. I don't think he's raged yet. Yeah, no, he hasn't raged yet either. Hey, Big G, welcome. You have come at our first Tigrex attempt. Yeah, you have to be hopping back through the elbow there if you want to get through. It's okay. We gotta figure out exactly what moves are safe to attack with on Lance. That's how Tigrex works in this game. You just have to figure out exactly what attacks are okay to attack during and what ones are 100% not okay. Yeah, this is one of the strictest fights, I think, in the entire series. Like, there are fights that do more damage or move quicker or whatever. There are very few that are as strict in terms of like, hey, these are the only angles you're allowed to attack him from. If you attack him during any other move, any other timing, from any other angle, you're gonna get screwed. Like, there are not that many hunts like that. I don't particularly think it's a great fight design, but it's interesting at least. Quill, thanks for the raid. Hello. I saw you were streaming Portable Third. How'd it go? Thank you, Parsec. Welcome, Quill, and welcome, Raiders. OG Tiggy was pretty hard. OG Tigrex is a menace. But we haven't died yet. Went well, did some Zinogre farming. Nice. Zen and Portable Third is so much fun. Whew. This is our first attempt at Tigrex in over a year. Hello, Dark Lagic. Welcome. Or Dark Lagic, excuse me. Oh, and there's Blongos in here. Oh my god, of course there are. Yeah, there's a unique feel to MJ Novice. I don't mind them, and they allow the maps to feel a little different than interconnected ones. The scale of the map feels a lot bigger when you transition zones and all of a sudden you've moved like several hundred feet or like a long ways up or down the mountain. It makes the maps feel very differently, I think. You think about something like Deserted Island and how large and expansive that map feels, and I don't know. There's something to it. There's definitely something to it. It's fun. I'm glad it exists. Didn't get it. Oh, this is not where you want to be. Did it again. He moves around so freaking much. Dark Glagic, that's nice to meet you. He's doing it, I'm trying. Gotta figure out how to fight Tigrex with Lance. Yeah, it's terrifying, Rock. I don't think he's enraged. He hasn't enraged on us yet. And that's the terrifying part, is like, this is already tough and difficult to deal with. And then he enrages and gets so much quicker and so much more damaging. There we go, here it comes. Ah! Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Every day you make a new best talent. That's my goal. I get up every morning and I spitball at least 15, and I go with the best 2 for the stream that day. Nope, missed it. Oh my god, that damage. Glad I brought Megas. Did he just de-enrage? I think he did. We made it through the first one. Yep. What a crazy fight. That's because Lance isn't about guarding. Lance is about positioning. The most precise positioning with the most precise pokes. I don't know why I'm saying precise instead of precise. That is kind of cool, Shmo, isn't it? Ooh, buddy! Sorry, that's... Feels good. Would you say Free Unite Tigrex is higher than Molten Tigrex? Yes. 100% yes. Molten Tigrex, you're allowed to attack him after several different moves he does. And he has different modes, and you can mount him, and like, you can break open his head. Like, there's just, this is just tough. Molten is tough, but this is way more tough. They're similar, I don't know, it's a similar feeling though, of like at any point this giant beast can bowl you over and kill you in one combo or like in 2 hits. Molten is the first Tigrex since this one that really, really feels like that to me. Although some enraged G rank ones and like 4 Ultimate and even Iceborne and stuff feels a little bit like that too. I love Molten. Molten's my favorite fight in 4 Ultimate, yeah. So I feel ya. Oh, this is an awful spot to be. I saw your post in the Discord, Hyper Apex Regios. Good morning to you. Oh gosh, that was... I screwed up the camera and everything else. Screwed up the camera and everything else. All right, we made it through the rage. This is G rank damage and high rank. This is G rank damage and low rank, dude. That's this game. Missed the roll. Gotta try it. Never get it. It's not just like this for Lance, Big G. It's every weapon. Literally every weapon has to be this careful around him. Double jump into, okay, taunt. It's not like, oh, with dual blades you get to walk in. It's like, no, dual blades you get rucked just as badly. It took me like 2 years to learn those evades. I'm really glad I can still do them. Rosie's the whole reason I'm even here doing this right now. Is because Rosie thinks 2nd gen Lance is the worst. No exhaust in this game? Yep, no exhaust. He's always like this. He's the exhaust is his regular form. The rage is the actual fight, and it just gets worse and worse as it goes. Oh, now we need to sharpen too. Oh, this is poor. We were directly under the roar, so I couldn't get out of the way. Ow. Dead. That's okay. That's fine. We're doing okay. I think this is going ever so slightly better than I thought it was going to, is how I would say right now. Welcome, Lionheart. We have less health now because we died. Then you have a 3rd gen and onward playstyle. Because Lance in 2nd gen is not all about guarding. There's no real... I mean, you can counter attack as in wait for a monster to do something and then clap back, but there is no counter. First time you see the Ristra Mauled emote, that's great. Wait, where'd you see Ristra Mauled? Oh, god darn it, the Rathian. I was thinking there was an old Ristra Mauled that was my face, and I was like, where'd you see that? I took all that off the internet. It's okay. Lance plays substantially differently after second generation Big G. It is a lovely emote, Mr. Mald. That mad Goldian. Should have guarded that. It's okay, we're just learning what moves we have to guard and which ones we have to hop. Thank you, Blongo, I think. Hey Phil, welcome. They're both neat in this game. They're both neat, Big G. Gunlance especially, it's cool because it's his first implementation, or like its first generation rather. It was in DOS and Freedom 2, but you know. We will get very close to one shot by a lot of his moves right now. No paintball, but I think he's just going between 6 and 8. Freemium Knight's gun lances felt okay to you? It is very simple. Which direction to block if you're beneath the Tigrex and he roars? If you're directly beneath his head, it looks like it emanates pretty much from his chest. God damn. Tigrex. Triple jump. Quadruple jump! That's not supposed to be a thing! It's supposed to be double jump in the taunt! Except when it's not! Penta! Penta jump! You joke about Frog Rex? That's a thing in Frontier. Yeah, that rage was pretty quick. Yeah. So like right underneath him there, I didn't go for his head, I went for the chest. How effective would smoke bombs be in hunts or just for some monsters? Smoke bombs are only useful in arena fights in some games because you're hunting multiple monsters in the same area and that keeps them from both aggroing to you at once. In a regular fight, there's not really any point because when you attack the monster, they're going to spot you. It's only useful if you want to try and not attack one monster for a while. And I don't even know, yeah, I don't even know if smoke bombs in this game even work. Dung bombs sure don't. Yeah. Yeah. Look at this psycho streamer. Killing it or capturing it. The challenge run that we're preparing for doesn't allow for traps or capturing, so we're gonna go for the slay. This hunt sure isn't over yet, though. Sometimes their HP thresholds are pretty scary. Like, they limp pretty early. They still have a lot of HP on them. And Tigrex can kill us instantly, whenever he wants. So, hey Bio, you've come for our first Tigrex. Also, Bio, I don't know if you know this, but there are 2 rad streamers who are working on RTA Hunting Horn and Freemy Night. Bay Getman and Sixth Quill. You should enjoy both of their streams because they are Hunting Horn enjoyers. And 2nd Gen Hunting Horn is rad. Oh, I forgot about the Geodrome in here, the Gia Prey. Oh, God. Oh. My anxiety is skyrocketing. That's 1. Oh, just 1 jump, not 4 this time. Oh. You don't sleep bomb? I don't have any bombs. Bombs aren't allowed in the challenge run that we're practicing for. Sorry, we're practicing for a specific challenge run right now that doesn't allow bowguns or sleep bombing or traps or bombs in general. Oh, God, Gia Price, screw you. Streamer cries, then dies live on stream. This area is such a death trap. It's so bad. It is truly perfect for fighting a Tigrex. Oh, that was greedy. We're okay. Geodrome, Gia Prey, screw you. Get out of here. Get run over and die. Ugh. It's not that. The things you're saying? Dude, I'm so stressed. Yeah! That was actually sick. I got the trip. I don't normally get the trip in Freemy Night Tigrex. It's tough to go for his back legs. And we got the skull shell, dude. Too bad we won't be able to use it, but you know, still exciting. All right, this is now our practice file. Do you know when Nursilla was added? Nursilla was added in Monster Hunter 4 for the 3DS. Thanks, Quill. It's scary. Such a scary monster. Such a scary monster. You could practice that thing for years and it could still bust one out on you and you'd just be like, I'm just gonna kill you instantly. And you'd be like, okay. That wording maybe wasn't great, but you know what I mean. All right, let's see our file. Let's see how much time we have here. You have a love-hate relationship with Tigrex? It's like Stockholm Syndrome in this game, dude, where like I fundamentally don't like that fight. It's not a good fight. It's bad. It's also Tigrex and every other Tigrex isn't Tigrex. So Tigrex is bad? Tigrex after this game is good, but like this is also the only one that's like really Tigrex. Like every other Tigrex is like kind of Tigrex. This is Tigrex. Like other monsters, I only say that because other monsters, like you think about Rathalos, like wouldn't you say the same thing about like Monster Hunter 1 Rathalos? But like Rathalos kind of slowly changes and like it's a little bit different and weird in each fight. There's no other Tigrex in the series that's like this, that in low rank moves that fast with rage thresholds like that. And just like, it's just ridiculous. It's just a ridiculous monster. What a ridiculous fight design. What were they thinking? You can think of it like that, Uchi, if you want to. All right. We finished the run. Oh, absolutely, Big G. Every fight after this is a better Tigrex. Like a better fight. Much, much fairer. But like, this is Tigrex. All right, let's see how long that took. Latrianus. Hi, it's nice to meet you. All right. So what was our time for our first Not Your Granny % run? Woo, 506. New PB. Barely any room for, oh yeah, barely. So we have a couple things we could do. I'm gonna stream for another hour and a half or so. We could faff about in our main file and fight some other monsters in Freeman Night for fun. We could play Portable Third. We could practice some of the fights in this run that I think I need to work on. Or we could start just watching videos of other people's runs and taking notes. I like doing that on stream sometimes. Never played Freeman Night or Second G, but you've been playing Portable Third recently. Portable Third is so good, Latrianus. How are you liking it? Fight a Fatalis Coward? I did. It sucked. Portable Third's the most beautiful game on the PSP. It's up there, man. It's a good looking game. You only got that time because you got perfect livers, whatever, man. It's not a good time. That's like 2 hours past world record. I mean, granted, I wasn't trying for world record, but still. Oh, you're welcome, Baines. How was the rest of your stream? Third gen is your fave, so it's great? Nice. I'm glad you're enjoying it then. Actually, I'm gonna go 5 potions, 10 herbs for these practice hunts. There's a world record. So we're practicing for, a category called Not Your Granny %. This was not a speedrun. I was not speedrunning today. I haven't played this game in over a year, and I haven't really gone through this route before. Like, I haven't played through the village. The speedrun is starting at the beginning of the game, going all the way to the Tigrex that we just beat. As fast as possible, with no bombs, no traps, no hammer, no greatsword, no heavy bowgun, no light bowgun. A couple other items are also banned, like... I think that's about it. Are flashes banned? I forget. Flashes aren't that useful for anything on this run. But yeah, so we're practicing for a category. Other people have already run that category. So yeah, there is a world record. I think, let's see. Yeah, Not Your Granny % world record right now is 2 hours, 39 minutes, 36 seconds by our friend Gecko using bow. We're trying to do it with Lance. I'm not particularly trying to take the world record. I just want to finish it in a time that I feel like, yeah, that was pretty all right with Lance. So Gecko did it in essentially almost half the time using bow. But Gecko is Bowmaster Gecko. So, what you gonna do? Bow is pretty broken in Freebie Night? Doesn't feel that broken to me. I know, I saw that, Alpha. I saw that, and I was like, oh no. I was thinking like I'd get to like go through it like a leisurely pace and be like, hey, this is like, it's all right. It's like, I don't know, it's far off from the world record, but it's whatever, it's Lance. And then Gecko did like almost world record with Lance. I was like, oh no. All 4 runs on the border, sub 3 hours. I know. So we have a little ways to go, huh? Okay, let's practice some of the hunts I need help with. Right now, I feel like I need help with Hermitar, Gypsyros, Sianatar, maybe? Sianatar went okay. I actually feel like I need less help with something like Tigrex. Than like Daimyo and Gypsyros, honestly. Is there any reason to play Freedom 2 over Freebie Night? Or are they identical? They're pretty close. Freebie Night has way more content, but Freedom 2 has some very subtle differences. There are some music track differences. There's some balancing changes. Certain menus are oriented a little bit differently. It's just a little bit more archaic. Just a little bit. I don't think there's, yeah, I'm with Rosie on this one. Rosie gave me a pretty comprehensive list of differences between the two recently, and there's not that big of a difference for most folks. I care about the differences because I really like knowing what the differences are between like little incremental differences in the series, but for the most part. All right, I need to practice on this quest. I didn't eat, whatever. We're not going to eat in practice. Personally, you only play Dose, then you are a rad individual. I wonder if I'll still spawn in the right area, even though we only did the cutscene. I'm looking forward to playing Dose someday. I'm kind of holding out to see how the whole high rank patch goes. Okay, he doesn't spawn in the same place, but whatever. Don't you get extra things on the guild card if you play Freedom 2 and transfer Freedom Unite? I think so. I think that's the case. They were pretty big on transfer functionality early on in the series. You could transfer your Garuga to Dose from your PSP. I love the voice we picked. I'm gonna have to go back in the VOD and look at what settings we chose for our character, because I want this to be our character every time. This is not going well. Nice. I'm planning on playing Freedom later this year, Luteranus, excuse me. God, this area is so cursed. Also, he never did this move at all for me the first time through this quest. This is just awful. But it's a breed of awful we ascribe to. Oh, I got stuck. It's those timings I'm trying to practice. Out of stamina. No, wait, I don't have my weapon out. Ah! Instead of crouch instead of a hop. How do you control your greed, Riss? By watching movements? By trying things and getting punished and going, huh, I shouldn't do that again. Very stream, yeah. Sorry for yelling so much. I shouldn't be doing this. Why apologize? Nah, it's great because it's not, I don't know. When you think of Twitch streamers, you think of everyone like, yo, look at that, like crazy screams, and like, I don't want to be that. It's just a trial and error thing for me, Lionheart, and often, I don't think I think that there are people, who play a lot better than me in terms of they can walk into a fight they haven't fought before or fought in a long time, and they will be able to see a move once and go, okay, I can't. They'll be able to see a move once and go, okay, I can't approach it like this. For me, I feel like I'm a slow learner. I need to get stomped by a move like 4 or 5 times before I go, oh, okay, I can't approach from that direction, or oh, I can't attack during that. But it's just something where you want to try and think of each time you get hit by something, or each time you try like a greed, or you try an angle, or you try an attack, and you go, oh, that did not work at all. Try and take note of it and go, okay, what could I do differently? Can I go a little earlier, a little later? Is it a different move that's going to fit into this opening? Do I just need to say, hey, I can't attack after that move? What is it? I know I'm a Twitch streamer, DeSantis. It's weird. Almost dead. Got the evade, that feels good. Whoops. Cool. That actually, I know that doesn't seem like it, that actually went better. Alright, see you, Dark Magic. It's nice to have you here. Yeah, I mean, I have that habit too, Big G. It sometimes takes a minute for me to go, okay, this is not working. I should not be doing this over and over and just getting hit. It helps when you're up against something that's really tough. So, Not Your Granny present Rosie is basically a Brawn challenge. You'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I reworked the Rise command into a Spoilers command, Ducci. So it's a little more general. Which Monster Hunter is your favorite? People ask that fairly frequently. I don't have a straight up favorite. I think that they all have strengths and weaknesses. I really like this game as an experience, as like a triage, as like a, you need to grow into this game. It's so tough. But I've really enjoyed Portable Third for some of its things, and I've really enjoyed 4 Ultimates for some of its things too. I don't know. I really think they all have different strengths and weaknesses and that they're all worth experiencing, but this one is very near and dear to my heart. Or like, I think this one has shaped me the most as how I approach the games now. This one has molded me the most out of all of them. But we played, it's not my most played one anymore. My most played one now is 4 Ultimate. I think we played like 1,200 hours of it last year. And then there's this one, which is 900 hours. Which is absurd. And there's a whole bunch of them that are like 400 or 500 or 600 hours. I don't know which game has molded me the most. It'd be a toss-up between this one and 4 Ultimate. Maybe Iceborne. Probably not World Iceborne. I just haven't spent enough time to be that mauled in those games, but... this one or 4 Ultimate, I don't know which one's made me more upset. They both have things in them where I'm like, that is ridiculous, why would you make that? It's worth playing Big G. Like, I'll say this, if you haven't played Freemi Night and you're thinking about it, you don't need to play through the whole game. You just need to play through High Rank Village. Low Rank and High Rank Village are a really good way to experience how this game is without having to go and triage through all the hub HP pools. Like, you can do that. They're really fun. G Rank is awesome. But High Rank Village is high rank health pools, but the G Rank movement patterns and attacks. So that means it's kind of like an in-between village. You'll get to see how monsters move in G Rank without having them hit quite so hard or having them have quite as much HP. You love G Rank? This is quite the G Rank. It's fun. You should try it. But if you feel like you're partway through and you're like, dude, this game is rough, then just go through High Rank Village and see what you think. I think for you were more constantly upset. Do you think the hunts in Freemi Night's more intense than the other games? Intense in different ways. The tension in this game is often higher because you can get screwed over so easily and die so quick. The tension in newer games is more about like trying to keep up with the speed of things consistently. I don't know. Thanks, Baines. That was a pretty decent daimyo. You got a friend, you're gonna play through it together on the PS Vita? That's awesome. That sounds really fun, and I'm jealous of you. I hope you have a good time. I feel like there was an entire week where you talked about Y stones every day. Actually, that's another good question. Do you think I was stuck on stuff more in that game or this game? It's kind of hard for me to remember because it's been a long time since I got freaking stuck on a lot of stuff in Freemi Night. But we did. We got stuck in this game a lot. Those are my Windows notifications, by the way, don't worry. You've been perma-stuck on Fatalis? We finished Fatalis! We didn't finish him well, but we finished him. I don't know. I think that there are tougher games in the series than this one. I think that this game might be the toughest experience all the way through in the series, maybe. There's some stuff about Monster Hunter 1 and like the earlier entries that are really like, really obtuse in a way that makes everything more difficult to do. But I think there are some hunts in this game that, like, when you get to G rank, there's so much health and there's so much damage that, like, while dose might be difficult in terms of like gathering materials, I still think it might outweigh it. I don't know. But I think some of the fight designs in later games get even tougher. Like, this might be one of the tougher games, but there are tougher fights in the series. Some of the Apex stuff is pretty rough in 4 Ultimate. And I'm assuming some of the EX Deviant stuff, some of the ATs, stuff like that. Alright, we're doing Gyps Arrows next. Oh, that's a Mega Potion. I don't want that. Ada. Gyps Rose was rough our first time through. This is the only quest in the swamp. I wish you fought Sianatar here. Yeah, that's how I feel, Rosie, is like there are certain things in the newer games that are more exacting than things in this game, because things in this game are difficult because they take forever to kill and they hit really hard. So you have to be very consistent and you have to learn to kind of be, you have to endure all the way through the fight. Do you ever sleep? Yes, not that much. This week I've been streaming a lot more than usual. I usually sleep between 3 and 5 hours at night, and then I'll take a nap in the afternoon too. Last night I went to sleep at probably like 3:30 and I got up at like 9. Most nights I go to sleep at 3 or 3:30 and I get up at like 7. Two whole weeks of moving. I just moved recently. I moved 10 hours from where I was living before. And it took us a little while to get everything moved up here and settled in. We're still getting there, honestly. It's okay. It's over now. There were a lot of things I didn't anticipate going wrong with it, but that's moving. Hopefully it's better now. It's a little better. There it is. So, oh god darn it, I'm so bad throwing paintballs in this game. This isn't practice for exactly what's going to go on in the runs because they're spawning in different areas and such. But just more practice on dealing with their general movesets because I feel really rusty at that. Like, even though his tail is such a better hit zone, it's not really readily available in this game. So I'm going to go for it when I can, but for the most part, I think we just gotta hit his head instead. No, it's really not. My sleep is about good, I think, for the most part. I've been doing this for multiple years, like that. Paintballs? Paintballs are how you track the monster in the old games. So you see the map over there, there's the pink circle on Area 4 where we are. I threw a paintball at him, and so that means I'll be able to see where he is on the map for about 5 to 10 minutes. Yep, that's how tracking worked in the old games. Jerome Francisco, welcome. Hi. Started with World back in 2020. Yep, no worries. This is how the older games were. Every game before World was like this. Oh, I was gonna say, please be backed up far enough, but nope. Oh. Why doesn't your stamina recharge when you're stunned? You're standing still. Yeah, we talk about this fairly frequently, but I think that all the games in the series, even the ones that are rather close to one another in terms of like when they came out, all have their own strengths and weaknesses and like unique parts of experiencing them. So I like the old games, I like the new games too. I like different things about them, but I like them. I hope you suck. Hey Game God, welcome. How are you this morning? Is he coming back? Yes, he is. Gypsy Rose, you're so dumb. I shouldn't be that mad at him, but he's dumpy. Oh boy, this area. This area used to actually drop some frames on the PSP. The Vita doesn't seem to struggle so much. Oh yeah, give me that tail. Could practice Liver of Legend? What's the practice with that? I mean, I think you're right, I probably could, but like, what do you practice? Like, oh, I need to get better at hitting these Sonic Bombs? I know you're probably joking about it being like RNG, but I probably do need practice at getting them killed easier. Drops frames in GU too, of course it does. Ouch. Oh no. Oh no. Whee! Not dead, Pog. Bonk, bonk. Oh god, the conga. No, I knew that last bite was gonna get us. So nice to see you're actually using a PSP and not just an emulator. We're actually using a PlayStation Vita, but it's very close. Oh, so dead. This quest is still a problem. Yeah, the PlayStation Vita has a PSP CPU inside of its CPU built in. Has a MIPS CPU core, which lets it do PSP backwards emulation, or backwards compatibility rather, very, very faithfully. Hey Vio, good morning. We finished Tigrex this morning. It went okay. We got him first try, one cart I think. Which felt really good, because I was very scared and anxious going into that quest. Right now we're just practicing some of the other problem hunts that we've had in the run so far. So Daimyo Hermitar and Gypsaros, and we'll probably practice Monoblos and what do you guys think? Do I need to practice Bizarrios? Is there much to practice on Bizarrios? I guess there probably is. You probably get better at bouncing and not getting hit while bouncing. But like, is there really much to practice there? Nothing compelling. Ooh. Ooh. I love it. Got it. I forget if that makes the poison go off. That was better than our first attempt at this quest for sure. Okay, I feel a little better at that guy now. It's mostly it really is just de-rusting, like getting used to how I can attack these folks with Lance again. Is Shogun in this run? Yeah, we did Shogun today as well. Shogun went pretty well. Shogun's one of my favorite matchups with Lance. Well, yeah, sure. Shogun's one of my favorite matchups with Lance. Not because it's a good matchup, just because it's fun to get better at. I think I'm gonna use the bathroom and then we'll keep going. We'll probably practice Monoblos next. Practicing Monoblos is gonna be rough because I don't really have a lot of screamers, so we might have to go and get some screamers to practice with. I think I should practice with maybe 5 sonic bombs in my inventory, because that's about how many we're gonna have on the run. Something like that. So we might need to go and get screamers, which is okay. These congas, man. Hey, iron ore, Pog. All right. Like I said, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be right back, and then we'll keep practicing some stuff. From Kanta. Are you thinking of the Kanta clip, Fish? Because I know that clip too. All right, I'll be right back. And we're back. DeSantis, if you're still hanging around, I hope you have a really excellent day. Enjoy your shower. See you later on. Okay. Let's see if we have any screamers or anything to make Sonics. If we don't, we might just go practice monoblows, honestly. The Sonic Bomb part of the hunt is really not the important part to practice, is it? The important part is like, hey, when you're out of Sonic Bombs, what do you do? So, we might just go. I think that was maybe the longest quest in the entire run. Bouncing Bizarrios to death took less time, which is pretty sad. Alright, I said I wasn't going to eat. I wasn't going to eat for practice quests. This has been a nice morning stream. I really liked this. Are any of these going to be Hibiscus? Yes, finally. I think maybe we can now make the fragrance lance. I'd love to make that. I forget where Screamers came from. Yeah, finally. 2 Hibiscus in the same run. Crazy. Screamers come from Kutku?
You.
Finally.
You.
Wanted this lance the entire run. So Kutku's a really good way to farm Sonics because it gives you some Sonics for free and you get the Screamers, huh? Finally get to use Fragrance Lance. I've wanted to use this the whole time. Fitting that we can use it on our practice file. I think Fragrance with attack up small should be close to the Paladin Lance in terms of raw, so we'll use that. We can't get attack up, with attack up medium. We can't get attack up medium with the Paladin Lance because it doesn't have enough slots, but this does have enough slots, so there you go. It's not your favorite. It's not my favorite lance either, but there's just something about hunting the big scary monsties in this game with a flower lance that I just kind of like. Give me those Kutku scales. Right, I don't have a cutscene for the Kutku this time, so he might actually be flying around right now, which is not ideal. Flower lance. Missed. Stood on the wrong side of his head and paid for it. The compositions for these are fun. I'm just now noticing the like doody doo doody in your right ear for the first time. It's like a little like xylophone or something. Or I've never noticed that before. Woo! Not dead. Barely. Barely not dead. I like this theme. No. Lance charge, always a good idea. There we go. It's fun playing these old games. Missed anything big? Nope, we finished Tigrex. Now we're just practicing some other hunts. We didn't need practice for Kutku, but I wanted to get a Kutku scale and some Screamers, so here we are. Hello, Jacob Conrad, welcome. How you doing tonight? Or tonight, how you doing today? It's not nighttime where I am, at least. It's daytime. Freeman Night. Hello, Straight Flubbernucht. Welcome. Yeah, we're doing some Freeman Night. We've been doing Freeman Night for a couple days now. Or I guess this is the second day. A throwback if you've ever seen it. We like Freeman Night here. All right, we need one more of those decos. I think in order to make it, we need one more Kutku scale, right? Yeah. Daytime's throwing you off too. So we probably shouldn't use this lance for practice without attack up medium. Attack up small is just a worse version of other lance. Yep, we're practicing for a challenge run right now. We're going to be doing a challenge run where we start at the beginning of the game and we go through to Village Tigrex and kill it as quickly as we can without using any bombs or traps or anything, just Lance. Wanted to try Freeman Knight for the longest time. You want to try all the Monster Hunter games? You should, Straight Fubbernuck. They're all different. They all have different challenges to them. They're all worth experiencing. Even if they have similar, like even if they're from a similar point in time, they're all going to be a little bit different. All right, Monoblos is next. Yeah, Alpha's done a good job of making this challenge run and then deciding the rules along the way for it. It's neat. I'm glad it exists. All right, let's switch back to our actual Lance. Lame. I wanted to use the Flower Lance. Alright, Monoblos. This was, I think, officially our worst quest today. So, we'll see if we can improve on it. I think it was like over 15 minutes. So if we could somehow get less than that, it'd be nice. Monoblos was your first wall. I think still scares you to this day. I think my first wall was Blinganga in Monster Hunter Generations. In this game, I think Kezu might have walled me first. I brought the wrong kinds of drinks, so this might be kind of bad. We'll see. Alright, I think the thing I took away from the last one is we just need to hit its legs more. We were bouncing too much elsewhere. Wow, whoa, that tail is something. That tail is something. You got a question? Go ahead, Big G. Oh no. Oh, we're okay. How does set building Freeman Knight compare to the later Old World games? It still uses the skill point system and you're still decorations. There are no talismans. In general, you will have less active skills. Like an endgame set in this game is maybe 3 or 4 skills. Usually 3. Sometimes 4 if you're like real efficient and some of the skills aren't like super strong. Do you bounce on the tail? You bounce on the tip of the tail. Hitting the tail the rest of the time is difficult to do. It's not really in reach a whole lot of the time. Whoops. This is a terrible position to be in. Yeah, this game, purple is a 1.5 times damage modifier, which is huge. So your main goal in this game at the end of the game is to get purple and then add crit eye to it if you can. I like going with sharpness and razor sharp and then health rec items improved. I think it helps with some of the really large health pools that are at the end of this game. Is there still a Lance counter? There is no Lance counter in this game. That was added in Monster Hunter Tri, which is what came after this game. Do most armors come with set skill points? Yeah. If you make a full set, it'll at least have 1 or 2 active skills and maybe some extra skills you can gem up to be active as well. So it's like the later games in that way. It just, there aren't as many skills in G rank. Like in low rank, you might get 1 or 2 skills. High rank, maybe 2 or 3. G rank, 3 or 4. There are also negative skills, like Meister Nox said. Which is something to deal with. Sometimes if you wear a full set of armor, you have to gem out negative skills. Yeah, you can do mixed sets, you can do full sets. Dang it. You can gem those out like normal. Yep, and that way it's just the same as usual, yeah. What is it doing? What is it doing? What is it doing? I've never seen it do this before. And now it's angry. He's walking, I can see that. Zoning walk? I guess. I hadn't seen that particular zoning walk before from Mana Blows. That's interesting. They do that in old gen? I mean, I know that they have certain walks. That was just a lot longer than I was used to. I'm used to them like walking over to a spot. I'm not used to them like slowly plodding over to a spot and then digging away. Maybe I'm just too used to the new games. Maybe he de-enraged just in time for it. Could be. So the skills are comparable to 3U, 4U, and GU. You'll get less skills per set than those. Like, at the end of 4 Ultimate, you're looking at like 6, 7, 8 skills sometimes on sets. You'll get like half that in this game. Essentially, it's just harder to get skills because you don't have talismans. You only have decorations. And like, yeah, you just don't get as many skills in this game. Yeah, less power creep, essentially. I don't really know what to attack when he's like this. I guess maybe they're just the wings. That tails off a lot earlier than before. Yeah, you still get to do set building. You still get to choose skills, but it's definitely a lot more simplistic. Poor positioning on that. Yeah, I guess let's just try and see if we can just poke at the wings. Ish. Not really. Man, you just can't go for anything, dude. I guess you can maybe hit the legs there. Lance just bounces on everything. Thinking for utility and weapon-specific skills, there aren't many. You can get guard for Lance. You can get focus for crit, or crit draw for greatsword. You can get a couple skills like maybe shot type up and evade extender for bowguns. There's earplugs, yeah. Whoops. But those are all very expensive. You get to choose between those and having big damage skills. It's hard to get them both on the same thing. Some sets have them, but not many. Some really good sets at the end of the game have them. Like, I'm pretty sure Rajang set has Tremor Res and Crit Draw, which is pretty huge. Whoops. Those, you won't be able to get that kind of stuff until the end of G rank. I mean, there might be some sets earlier on in the game that have one good attack skill and like some points into a decent utility skill, but I mean, it exists. It's just, you can think of the whole thing as more sparse, harder to get skills, just in general. My God. Like, for example, this set early on. This is the battle set in low rank. It gives attack up small and speed sharpener. It's a godsend for this point in the game. Doesn't Monobos have attack and guard? I don't know. I haven't looked. I haven't looked any time recently. I think what I would say is, like, those sort of skill combos exist. You don't always get to choose them. It's sometimes just based on, like, what there is available, and sometimes the pairing you might want to have. Like, let's say, like, crit draw and evasion. Like, just, they don't exist. You can't do it. I don't know if that's exactly true in that way, but, like, I'm not sure if you can't get crit draw and evasion in this game, but some combinations of skills just don't really work. Okay, he's raged, so the sonic bombs don't work, right? Hey Panda, welcome, welcome. It's all built around mixed sets with certain slots since no charm. Yep. So it's just a little more fixed. It's still fun. I have some mixed sets I really truly love from the end of this game. There's a particular Sianatar Kezu mixed set that I still think of fondly. It gives most of it gives the two most important meta damage skills at the end of the game, which are Razor Sharp and Sharpness +1. Plus health rec items improved. And I had a lot of fun doing health rec items improved instead of doing like crit I2. So that's a decent example of like, hey, utility skill and some damage skills. Blah. Who knows where he went? This is going better than last time, I think. I feel like I'm dealing way more consistent damage throughout the fight. I don't think it'll be that much quicker because he still wastes a lot of time, but I think what probably won't be like super far over 15 minutes. Which is what I was looking for, just cutting some time off. Oh, I should have waited so I could Superman dive. Oh, you dummy. Am I out of potions? I sure might be. Shouldn't have attacked on that side. Sure, I got you, Big G. They're good questions. Do you think Monobos will come to Rise? Would be fun to fight him in the desert. I don't think he's going to, at least not in like a title update or anything. I think if they were going to put Mono in Rise, they already would have done it. He would have been there in the village from the beginning. Ouch. This is how it went to last time. We went down to no heal Monoblos. Just how it ended up going. Oh, I wanted to turn around there and I missed it. That's a limp. That's a lot faster than last time. Oh. Oh. Poor Lance. Poor Lance. The bite. Oh, poor Lance. No more Sonics. Well, this went a lot better than last time. It looks like we're going to roll over right about 15 minutes instead of almost 20. Which is not much better, but better. Oh, God. I say before he moves super far across the map. $15 passed. I saw. Yeah, last time it was nearly 20. I think it might have been 20, honestly. So I know 15 just passed, but it just did. This quest is just tough for Lance. You don't actually get to do anything all that satisfying when you use the Sonic Bombs. They almost feel like not worth it. I don't know. They're worth it for getting him out of the... They're worth it for getting him out of the ground, but not much else. They don't really get you any extra damage, or at least not much. This is the Paladin Lance. It's just the Ore Lance. Cat, would you screw off? Yeah, Nox, like 16, 17. Not great. Better than last time, though. Last time there were 2 carts, and it was just... I don't know, we were fighting without Sonics for a lot more of the quest last time. So that's better. Hey, Mondo Beef. Thanks. Right, Mondo has 4 carves in this game for whatever reason. Yep. So this is the Paladin Lance. I'm guessing you want to test something about bouncing when he's popped up out of the sand. I haven't been able to find a consistent angle to attack him where you don't bounce constantly. Sometimes you can hit the stomach and legs, but they're really difficult to. That's what I'm guessing you wanted to test. Straight charging to the stomach when it's popped out of the sand. You might be able to low profile past the other hit zones, but I think you probably bounce. Feel free and let me know if you try it out. You were so excited about your first and as of yet only monoblos that you were trying to get screenshots and stuff and forgot to carve. I know that feel. I know that feel. Let's do a Shogun Siennatar to end the stream. I was gonna pop over to my other file and do a Terra Shogun, but we'll just do Shogun here instead. This was a PSP game? Yep. It's running on the PlayStation Vita right here, but yep. It was a game for the PSP. Pretty great game for the PSP. Welcome to ASL. We did Tigrex earlier. It went okay, which was surprising to me. He's really difficult in this game, so I was surprised I didn't get tripled, honestly. No crab here. Bummer. Be nice if he started here. Yep, I feel like Monster Hunter in general usually pushes the visuals on the consoles that it's on pretty hard. It was that case for the PS2 and the Wii. It was that case for the PSP. The console, like the ports from handheld to console usually don't look as impressive, so when you look at like 3 Ultimate on the Wii U or Portable Third on the PS3, they're okay, but they're not like pushing graphically all that hard. Same thing for Double Cross, of course, on the Switch, or GU on the Switch. But when you look at World or Rise, it's like, yeah, they usually push the platforms around pretty far out. It's neat. We won't have to walk around trying to find him when we're actually doing this in the speedrun. I wonder where I'll put the splits. The map is so big. Maybe I can just turn the map off. That turns off the map entirely. Splits might need to go above my head here. That's weird. It's not where I usually have them, but whatever. We'll play around with it. So cursed, yeah. It's funny how much space the map takes up. Didn't get the timing right on that hop. Uh-oh. Oh, no. The worst move. I knew he was gonna do it again. It's such a bad move. I should have just guarded it, I guess. I don't know how much guard damage it does, but it's probably better than getting hit by it. I'll have to think about that. Ouch. Might die here. So no bouncing while charging struggling mono with the Paladin Lance? Really, 6th Quill. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Thank you for trying that. I'm pretty skeptical of Lance charge in most applications, so thank you for trying that for us. I'll try that out sometime soon. That's huge. Did you have to charge in from a specific angle, or just charging at the chest worked out for you? Hey, FPS failure. Oh no, the worst move. Well, if he does it again, we can figure out how much chip it did, but nope. The Restranto Panta. That's interesting, Quill. Thank you so much for trying that. I probably wouldn't have found that. Epseros, dude. Epseros. Ugh, I need to get better at the angle for jumping through those double swipes. It's hard. Come down. Come down. Come down. Stop. Thank you. Listen to that meaty head hit sound. Too early on that hop. Oh, I missed the evade. Missed it again. Bummer. So fast. I love this matchup. This matchup is so exciting. You do keep going through the mono with the charge, sadly, but you found that you can get a good few hits in and a finisher passing through both its wings. The hits of value aren't bad in those areas either. That's fair. Thank you, Quill. It's better than what we were doing, I'm sure. Weak. Mercy. Ow. Whew. I love that hunt. That hunt is so much fun. I don't even know if that was a really good one, but that was a fun one. We're just looking down with the ominous shadows covering his eyes. Sorry, I'm looking down at the Vita. My lights are up there, so. This fight would be better with counter guard? No way. Less exciting. Way less exciting. Freebie night, man. Hey Ben, welcome. It's interesting, the crabs are so robotic in their movement and so are Lance and Gunlance, but that makes them like a beautiful fit or something. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna call it there for this morning's stream. Hope everyone liked it. If it's anyone's first time by the stream, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna be working my way through interesting challenge runs and slowly working my way through some of the Monster Hunter games, trying to learn and try different things out for a long time to come. So if you're down for more of that, think about following. I'll be back tonight with some Monster Hunter Rise. We're going to be continuing on through some of the 7-star hub quests. There are some more multi-monster quests from Update 2.0 that we have to get used to. So I'm looking forward to that. We have a Discord, which is very cozy. It's where folks hang out and talk about old Monster Hunter and new Monster Hunter and all kinds of good stuff in there. So if you need a place to hang out, check it out. We have a YouTube channel where I upload VODs and highlights, and we have a Twitter where I tweet about Monster Hunter stuff. Also, before I go, I'm giving away some Monster Hunter figures. So thank you guys for several years of nice streams and 2,000 followers on Twitch. I'm giving away 5 of these. I have a Kashala and a Tigrex, a Zenogre, a Rathalos, and a Nargacuga. I'm going to be shipping these out to anywhere in the world. So if you want to get one of these, you join the Discord and you hit a little button in the figure builder room, and then you're entered. Check it out. I want to give you guys Monster Hunter figures. Oh, man. All right. That's going to be that. Thanks, Quill. Me too. I guess sometime soon I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna take notes on one of the other Not Your Granny % runs. Maybe Gunlance, because that might be kind of similar to our run. Maybe. Yeah. I need to take notes and make a document that we can follow along with while we're actually going through the run, including things I need to make sure, like routing for items and stuff. I don't know. We gotta do some note taking and prep, but we're gonna be doing one of those Not Your Granny % runs pretty soon. In any case, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to find somebody else who's streaming Monster Hunter, and we're going to give them a raid. So give me just a second here. I'm going to go take a look. Who's on? Who's streaming? I think we're going to raid our friend Biodrone. Biodrone is playing Monster Hunter Rise. They're doing some random kind of challenge runs in that game. TA speed runs with Hunting Horn. They're a really good horn player. So if you want to watch some really good Hunting Horn being played in Monster Hunter Rise, it's Biodrone 11, right? Oops. Yeah. Then stick around. All right. Like I said, I'll see you guys later on tonight for a night stream. Hope you guys all have a nice day. Happy hunting. See you guys next time. And bye-bye.